Consider the following table, which describes some coordinates of a linear function. Which of the following choices represents the same relationship as given in the table? To solve this question, it will actually be easier for us to go ahead and create an equation based off our original function, and since we don't have a y-intercept, we're going to have to use point-slope form. But first, let's start by finding our slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I'd like to use these 2 points. For my y2 and x2, I'm going to use the second pair of coordinates. So we'll have 1 minus and 8 minus. Then we will use the other set of coordinates for our y1 and x1, 0 and 4. 1 minus 0 will give us 1, and 8 minus 4 will give us 4. So our slope in this case is equal to 1/4. Now we need to use our point slope formula. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And in this case, I would recommend that you pick a coordinate point that has 0 as your y value. And in this case, we do have one of those, which is 4, 0. So I'm going to use that point. Y minus 0 is equal to m, which is 1/4, times x minus our x value, which is 4. Y minus 0 will just give us y is equal to 1/4 times x is 1/4 x, and then 1/4 times a negative 4 will give us a negative 1. So here is our equation, and now I'm going to make some room so that we can look at all of our answer choices. Now let's take a look at our answer choices. Starting with answer choice A, we have a y-intercept at positive 4, meaning our b value is positive 4. Yet in our original function, our b value is negative 1. So these do not match, and answer choice A is incorrect. For answer choice B, let's start plugging in some values to our equation to see if the functions match. So we will take our first set of points. We'll have negative 4 for y is equal to 1/4 times 0 minus 1. 1/4 times 0 is just 0. So this will equal negative 4 is equal to 0 minus 1, which will give us negative 1, not negative 4, making answer choice B incorrect. For answer choice C, let's see how many of these points we can plot on the graph before we have to start using our equation. We have over 4 up 0, that is a point on this graph. We have over 8 up 1, which is also a point on this graph. Over 12, 16, and 20, we are unable to see on the graph, so we will come back and plug those in a bit later. Let's look at answer choice D. Y is equivalent to 4 times the value of x and a constant c, where c is equal to 4. Let's put this into an equation. Y is equivalent to 4 times the value of x plus the constant c, which is equal to 4. This equation does not match our original given equation. So that means answer choice D is incorrect, and by process of elimination, answer choice C is our correct answer. At that point, you can mark C and move on with the rest of the test, but for the sake of the video, I'll show you exactly why C is correct. For answer choice C, we were able to plot the first 2 points, but we weren't able to plot these 3 points. So what we're going to have to do is create an equation and test these points within it. So I'm going to pick these 2 points to find my slope, 4, 0, and 0, negative 1. So I'll set up my y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and I'm going to use this first point as my y2 and x2. So I'll have 0 over 4, and both of these are minus our other point, negative 1 and 0. Subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. 0 plus 1 is 1. 4 minus 0 is 4. So we know our slope is equal to 1/4. And we know that our y-intercept is at negative 1. So we know our b is equal to negative 1. With this information, we can write the equation y is equal to mx plus b, or minus 1. And these equations both match, making answer choice C our correct answer.